are now live. Let's move camera.
Waiting for it over here.
All right. Let's see here.
I got a notification, and there it is.
Scenes, and
everyone can now see you, Ian.
Okay. I'm going to switch to the other layout cam here.
I'm just doing laundry. It's not that exciting. Oh, geez, Cash, you are very much in the way.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, hey, Dakota. Yeah, one of the new benefits of bring that down just a hair. And, yeah, and scale rail cam. Okay, let's zoom this out. I hear the FRAs going at it again.
Yeah. She's demanding food. Okay, Miss Food Princess. Let me quench your thirst for food, or rather, quench your hunger. There, eat. Huzzah.
Quench your thirst for food. Okay, let me get
Say what?
one last thing here, and then I'll get started. Oh shit! I never ran my file sync program to download that file. Bear with me. I'm never prepared. And why didn't that download or open? Now it's opening. And compare. And then where's my project name file? Project name. There it is. Well, that didn't look good. Am I still on? Maybe. This will be interesting. Well, my computer screens all just went white. Application, well, okay, Dakota's still there. Nathan's still there. Teddy's still there. Okay. There. Got that done. Save. Let's see if we can find a file. Get that downloaded. And then I can get started. So, yeah, Coltrane's still running. I've got a loop built on the layout now that I can run trains just in this room. Although the noise canceling headphones, I wouldn't be able to hear it if it derailed. So that'll be interesting. Come on, photos. Okay. So what I did, and I'll show you guys as soon as it downloads, I scanned in Kato Unitrack on a flatbed scanner and got an image of it. And then I started copying and pasting and cutting and making layers, and I figured out how I would need to cut the track to get a properly spaced crossover. And I'm waiting for my file or my file sync thing to scan and find it on the server and download it. That'll just be another minute, and then we'll get started. In the meantime, I can put on real Railfan Cam. You guys can watch that for a couple minutes. And I'm going to go find the parts to reassemble my Okay. Oh, open TT stuff. I want just synchronize, whatever. Hey, easy. Say it can't be that much stuff. Yeah, there we go. Now, model train. Almost got it here. And scale stuff. Ooh, for my layout design. New layout. Kato switch pattern. Here we go. You can hear me on stream, but not on voice chat. Oh, it probably kicked me out of the thing for some reason. Hold on. It says I'm still here. Yeah, it says I'm still here. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now, but I couldn't like earlier.
It might have kicked.
No, you were still here the whole time.
Huh. Weird.
I wonder if it has something to do with the audio limiter you put on.
On the stream side?
Well, I don't know which side, to be honest. Every once in a while, your voice gets really like tinny, and it sounds like you're talking through like a really far away like soup can.
Oh, weird.
And then other times it's crystal clear.
Well, it was probably because I was trying to do a bunch of things with the computer at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's the way little Ian's computer gets too. If he tries to run a call or like a game or something, his mic will get really glitchy.
Okay. So the one I'm going to do is this one. So I scanned in the 3 pieces. I used double track piece to reference my spacing. And then I just overlaid the pieces until I got roughly the size, the area that I want. So now I just need to start cutting. And get my rail nippers and a few other things, and I'll get started. I'm going to zoom in down here. So the overlaid area that I can work with is probably between these two. So on the switch, I'm going to use a paintbrush to point. You've got the 2 long ties, and then you have this gap, and then you have short tie at a diagonal, and then they continue off like that. And these 2 short ties are about the mating surface for what I need here. Then about, I don't know if you can really see it on the small screen, but about here is where I will need to cut the rail, probably about there, where I need to cut the rail on this side to interface with the frog. So I'm going to pull this rail out completely, and I'm going to slide this rail in place of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ties. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ties. Wait, excuse me. 1, 3. I should count from this one where it's a little thick, blacker piece. And let me zoom in a little more on the camera. So we'll count from here, which is right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. And I'm gonna cut at the next one. So I'm gonna cut right there.
Oops.
Bless you.
Oh, geez, I forgot you're here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a tendency to forget things, so yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Get that piece cut away. Ow. Finger. Nope, not bleeding. We're good. Carry on. Reset the injury days. Stop. Reverse. Go back.
Little Ian's here.
Little Ian's here.
in chat.
In chat or in voice?
Little or in like the YouTube chat, not here. Not
Oh, okay.
Discord.
Hi,
He
Ian.
says hey.
Hey, Ian. Okay, there we go. Get that train parked. Now, for the switch, from the straight tie Yes, Nathan, this will be a custom modded switch. Okay, that's interesting. It was pushing the whole. It was pushing the whole handle of the thing in. Oh, there goes the.
Hey,
Wait.
Stop chewing on stuff up there. That's not food. You have food in the laundry room.
I'm gonna grab a cutting blade out of the storage room. Make this go a little quicker. Yeah. Damn it.
Maybe a 5x4. Yeah.
Okay. Ugh. This is doing everything but cutting the plastic. All right. Well, this is not ideal, but it'll get the job done, I think. All right. Well, I've got it loose. Why you hung onto there so hard? You're loose. There we go. Okay. So, got that part out. Now, cut away the melted sections of track there from the ballast from the rotary cutter. Then I'm going to trim the hidden sections up to the top of the road bed here. Oops. There we go.
I'm so confused.
Okay. Right. Then, in theory, so I think I'm going to need to trim some of the back ballast away. So I'm going to do that at a pretty shallow angle. And then try and retain that tie as best I can. Next, I need some rail joiners. Those are over here. Trim that one there. I'm going to leave this rail long because when I put these together, I'm going to take this rail out completely and I'm going to bend this rail into that thing all the way up to the point. I'm going to take this rail out completely and I'm going to bend this rail into that thing all the way up. What he said. Somebody's feeding back over there. I don't know how. Oh, Teddy's volume on his thing is getting picked up by his microphone. Next, I'm going to trim out the spike heads off the next tie to make room for the rail joiners. Okay. Now let's see if I can get this rail out. And there is a contact in there that I have to be careful about. Okay.
Help.
Pretty close. I think I just need to trim back just a little bit more here. I'll be pretty impressed if this works out on the first try. Trim back just a hair of this. Make room for that tie. Okay. bit of that to open this up.
See how it works.
Ooh, I think we got something. Now, got to mark exactly where this needs to get cut, which is right here. Turn that off. Now, in theory,
Okay.
so we got to be careful with that piece right there. There's a little tab that I've got to make sure is down underneath the rail. Okay, I need to find my better pliers because I've got it in place, but I want that last right there. I want that in there. Now I just need my rail joiner. Pull that out for a second. Well, I guess I could have used a Kato rail joiner too, but either way. This works. Get that down in there or not. It's going to be difficult. Okay. Here we go. So, to go over how I did that. So I go, bring this up, layers. Zoom this out a little bit. So I got into my photo editor, which is paint.net. I scanned in the curve piece, the switch, and the two-piece section. I overlaid them on top of each other. I made one section semi-transparent. Then I could see if you lined up the curve with one side, opposite curve or switch, the opposite side, and then you see where they line up in the middle. And then you can see where your cuts would be to make sense. Then you count back in ties on where you need to make your cut on one piece, count back in ties, see where you need to make your cut on the other piece. I cut along the tie line to keep it straight. And then I freehand cut up the seam of the switch in this case to make clearance. And then I cut away the slope of the switch and left most of the slope in the curve. So the tie or the ballast of the switch would just kind of lay over the top of the curve and be pretty close to hidden. And then one thing to note, when I make my piece that goes here, I will need to cut away a little bit of the straight or of the ballast on that part. So let's build that piece while we're at it. Okay, go grab a piece of 284 or 186, whatever I've got lying around. This will work. Although, what if are those here? What if I use those angle pieces from the number 4 switches? Because that's basically what this is. Where did those go? Over here? Nope, that's my 64s. They were too far. Ah, here they are. Let's try this before I butcher up another piece of track. This might be the easy solution. Nope. Well, yes, it is the easy solution, but it doesn't really solve anything. I still have to cut a piece to fit in there. So,
What the hell?
ooh, I might just have pieces available to do this. Fingers, open Ziploc bag, please. Oh my gosh. I'm having a moment right now.
Hey, Ian,
Yes.
I have a question.
Is it about my lack of dexterity to open plastic bags?
No, about my
Okay.
layout.
Okay, a question about your layout. Go ahead. There we go. What's up?
I am. Huh?
What?
Did you say something?
No, I'm waiting for you to ask your question.
Oh, my bad. I'm looking into, and I don't know if you'd have any tips on this. I'm looking at buying a model rail technology speed stick.
Okay, what the hell is that?
Basically, it's a little stick you put on the ground next to your track. It tells you the direction of the train and then the speed of the train as well.
Oh, okay.
If you go into YouTube and look up model railroading technology speed stick, it should come up.
Okay.
And it's a fairly new product, like less than a year old.
Give me just a minute to wrap this up and then we'll take a look at that. That might be a better solution for Nathan on the museum layout than the speed thing that I got for my test layout. Oop, switch back. Okay. That in. That in. Then. I found that using the flush track cutters has given me a lot better control over my cuts on the ballast than trying to use the miter box saw. Till shit starts tearing like that, but that's the plastic, not the cutter. Okay. A little bit more. Actually, at that point, I'm probably at the point of just trimming it like this, getting the rough edges off of it. All right. Now, pull a piece of track. Piece of rail. The other side. So the rails have little notches on one end or the other to hold them in place on the track. Pull them one way or the other. It'd be kind of a pain. Okay. And believe it or not, I have a use for this. I'll explain that next week. I'm putting in some abandoned track in the yard, and I can use that for my abandoned track. Pull that out. Okay. Just a little bit out of square. Adjust that with the nippers. Better. At least another little adjustment right in here. It'll have to work, I guess. Okay. Then trim there. Trim there. Brought my rail joiners back in. Here. There. Oops. Maybe not there. And this should line up pretty much dead on. Done. Sweet. Only took an hour to do all that. Let's zoom out. Finished product. Number 6 switch with 33 millimeter, track spacing. Now, what I also want to do is I'm going to have another section of track right here that I need to do the same thing. So let's do that quick. That won't be near as involved as this was. I won't need my extra rail joiners. Won't need my extra rail. Won't need that. Won't need that. Won't need that. Won't need that. Put away my rail joiners. I could have used Kato joiners in hindsight. That might have even been a little better. But what I used was Atlas, and they seem to work fine. Throw that rail away. That should be fine. Get this cleaned up. I'll start on the other stuff.
Hey, Ian,
Hey, what?
not to be self-centered or anything, but when you said you'd talk about my thing,
Yeah, let's talk about your thing.
after you finished up.
Yes, you're right. Thank you for
Sorry, I
reminding
didn't mean to sound all self-centered.
No. Yeah, you
You're
did.
good.
You did say we'd. Or I did say we'd talk about that. So let's talk about that. Okay.
Okay, so simply enough, go to YouTube, look
Go.
up MRT speed stick.
Okay. So let's close out of this. I can always use the Atlas Flex Track to replace those sections. Yes, I could, but then I'd have to put road bed in and paint it to match and stuff like that. So you could do it.
What happened?
Okay. Oh, just the rail. I gotcha. So just fit the Atlas rail into the Kato track for longer sections. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Model Railroad Technologies. I was just looking at these guys for somebody who's wanting beacon lights products. Speed stick. Sounds like a deodorant. Okay. So yada yada yada. Click here for video. This is probably what you were watching. Okay, I'm going to.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Lewis, founder of Model Train Technology. And
Hi,
today
Tim.
we have a new product. This is an exciting one. No soldering, no wiring. You just, this is called the Speed Stick, and it has a lithium battery in there. It's rechargeable, and you just turn on the switch, and it's ready to go. And what I have here is just an N-scale loop going on. And the Speed Stick is measuring the scale
You might want to
miles
switch
of
your
this N-scale train as it goes around. It's somewhere around 65 miles an hour. And the
Give it a
Speed
minute.
Stick works in the scales from Z to G scale, the standard scales for NMRA. So that's the basic setup. I mean, it's so simple. You just charge it, turn it on, and let it go.
Screen.
The arrow shows you the direction that the train is triggered and traveling to. If you had this train go by and then had another train that swung by coming from the other direction, the Speed Stick would figure out to change directions and measure it the other way. By pushing a single button, there's only one button on here, you can switch from miles per hour to kilometers. There's a second mode, which is instead of showing you the miles per hour or kilometers per hour, it will show you the milliseconds that it takes to travel the 180 millimeters. That's the distance between the two sensors. The sensors themselves are our classic precision detectors that use a Class A laser to detect the train. We don't use infrared reflected light. It's too fuzzy, if you will. This is so very precise. And in fact, one of the things in the first time we tested it, we were getting all this kind of funny results. It's so fast that at this speed, which is pretty fast for an N-scale train in real life, it could detect the space between the cars. So it detected the space between the cars as starting another timing cycle. And so we had to make sure that we were checking the spaces for full cars and then no cars for a little while, and then it would start the timer and let it go. So that was pretty cool. We haven't tried it on Z, but if you slowed Z down and lowered this a little bit, you could probably get the same effect. So I had to engineer away from that. So anyway, the milliseconds, and if you have a non-standard scale that you want to measure the speed, you can go to our website. There are two widgets there. One is for measuring speed, and so you put in the millisecond time you get from the Speed Stick, put in the scale that you want to do in either one of the scales or type in your own, and then it'll give you the miles per hour, kilometers per hour. You can switch back and forth between them. The last mode is called loop mode, and what loop mode is a simple, just a timer from the beginning of the Speed Stick, measures all the way around your layout coming back to the Speed Stick. It'll just measure that in minutes, seconds, and hundredths of a second. And so you can use that if you know the speed and you don't change the engine speed. So you calculate, you capture the speed here, 65.3 miles an hour, write that down, then put it into loop mode, measure the time it takes there, and you can go to the second widget, put those two numbers in it, and it will tell you the scale miles exactly of your layout. So however you want to loop it around.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's pretty cool. Like I said, there's all of the scales that we are typical N scale, I'm sorry, Z scale to G scale, using the standard NMRA scales for those. So 220 for Z scale, 160 for N scale, and so forth. And that's it. The instructions are super simple. Like I said, it comes with a lithium battery. We provide you the charging cable, and the little charging block that you plug into your AC. I'll show you those in the close-up in just a minute. I know it's kind of hard to read from the distance that we have the camera to capture all this. So let's zoom in and take a look at the speed stick. This is a close-up of the speed stick in action. We're tracking the N-scale train going around, and this is the yellow display. There's a blue display and a white display, and you can choose one of those three when you place your order. When the distance between these two is 188 millimeters, when the train hits the first sensor, it starts the clock and goes to the second one. So right now we're just, the default is miles per hour, and it just in N scale. So by pushing this button, as I showed you in the chart earlier, we can change it to kilometers per hour. So I'm just going to press it once, and it switches to kilometers per hour, and now the train will go, and of course that number will be faster than miles per hour, and sure enough it is 104 kilometers per hour is the train traveling. All right, so now what I'm going to do after the train passes this next time, I'll put it into millisecond timer mode, and that's 2 push buttons. And I'm keeping the train fast so that the loop doesn't take that long, and there you go. And now that was 951 milliseconds, and you can put that into our widget calculator. And this is a good test. One of the things that we noticed on this loop, there's only one feeder on one side of the track. Track's a little dirty, and you will get variations on miles per hour. Millisecond times is a little, also very slightly. When we put a speed stick in different places in the loop, the train would speed up and slow down as it goes around. And that's just based on the mechanics of a very small motor. This is running DC, and the track has different levels of friction and dirt on it as it goes around. So that's going to be pretty typical. So the idea is to keep it in one place and have a fairly straight away so the train gets up to speed after the curve, whatever curve you might have, and is at a steady speed when it hits the speed stick. That's the best way to do it. And as you can see, we're pretty close. That's good. All right, so now I'm going to put it into loop mode, which is 3 push buttons, and it'll tell us that we're in loop mode. And so what now it's going to do is going to clock the time. So it started the clock, and after the train passes, you'll see that the train clock is indeed moving, and it will come around here and tell you, it'll stop the clock, and it'll show us that it took 13 and 92 100ths of a second, and then the clock jumps to 5 seconds.
Well, Nathan, looking at the price, it's not that much different than what the other system that I had was. So
got a different time.
I think this would be a lot easier for you guys to utilize at the museum,
like I said, that time
because it's straight out of the box, up and running.
Trying to do the calculation using
you don't have to install your
average these times out.
You don't have to
the train will settle down,
install your stuff and have them spaced right, all that stuff.
Start up an engine like this, a small DC engine, you're going to have the heating of the motor and all of that are going to have an effect on changing the speed more dramatically during the first couple of minutes of operation. Once the train's been sort of reaches its operating temperature, it'll stay more constant. Okay, so I'm going to change it back to miles per hour. Let me do this. Let's see, there we go. I might have to click this one ready. There we go. Oh, let's take it off. And let's put it on there. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, I'm up pulling my old switch out, putting in my new one here.
So push it 3 times again, and we should have.
Whoops.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're in millisecond mode, and I'm going to put it back into mileage mode. There's the kilometers. Push it once more. We should get miles per hour. There we go.
Okay, get that pulled out.
Oh, I triggered it. Let's do that. Yeah, if you accidentally trigger it. So it'd be kind of crazy if you push here and go here, you'll get a really fast speed. You can play, crazy stuff with this. But anyway, now it's set up and we're back to miles per hour in N gauge. Okay. So for HO scale, what we would do is just move this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, according to the chart. And now it's an HO scale. And you'll notice that the speed that's reported is going to be slower than it was in N scale because, of course, the scale is larger. All right. And that's really it for the speed stick. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to just push this one so you can see what the white display looks like. Okay, and I put my hand in front of the sensor, but now we should be okay. There you go. And the blue display I may not be close enough to it. Oh, there we go.
Okay, we get the idea. If you want to watch the whole video, you can. I better email them and retroactively ask for forgiveness on a copyright stuff. But yeah, off to fundraising. Yep, there you go, Nathan. We got one sold. Let me unmute Teddy. How do I unmute Teddy? Okay, I'm unmuted. Okay, you can unmute Teddy. Okay. Yeah, I think your talking was interfering with his audio, and yeah, no, it looks really cool. What would you use it for? Other than, hey, that's cool.
I have a. What?
What do you broke up? You have a. Did I lose you?
So I think I might look into getting one of those.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you had any insight on it, and I wanted to run it by you first.
Oh, I mean, it seems like a simple solution that, for probably a reasonable price. I mean, those items have always been in the $80 to $120 range.
I think those are $125.
Yeah, it's a little pricey, but what isn't these days? So, it's a lot more user-friendly than the system that I got, and in hindsight, I probably would have just gotten that because it's more versatile than what I got. Because mine,
yours, didn't you have to put a whole bunch of wires in the track?
Yeah, I've got to drill a whole bunch of holes in the track, put sensors in, feed wires through, hook it all up, and then power it. But the difference is
you just get a giant brick on 2 legs.
Get what?
With that one, though, it's basically just a brick on 2 legs. You just turn it on, put it there, and it works.
Right. So it's a lot more user-friendly. The only reason I got the one that I got was it has four speed sensor set, so it's like buying 4 of those to put around the layout, but you've got to wire them all together into the same system to make it work. So it's to do easy speed matching for me on my locomotives. Why I got what I got. It's a great product probably for clubs and like T-track and N-track layouts that go out to shows, do things like that. Make a good Christmas gift for you. or birthday gift or whatever to ask for.
Like I also still have many months before Christmas and my birthday because they fall in the same freaking month.
Eh. All right, let's reopen. Where am I at for time? Hour 15. I think I'm going to break away from doing that. I'm going to save the curves for later and reassemble these passenger cars. So, that.
Hey, Ian.
Hey, what?
You have a moment to switch over to the voice chat?
What do you mean? I'm on the voice chat.
Like, you have a moment to switch over to the tab so I can show you something.
You mean this?
Like the call itself.
I'm looking at the call itself. What do you want to show me?
Okay. Make sure that's... So this is a new yard that I made. It's 2 points here, got a little loop, and then there's a bit of track here.
Interesting.
Yeah. I sent it to Elijah. He called it goofy.
I would tend to agree with him a little bit. It looks like an industry track kind of thing. Like if you had industry buildings and it was a switching puzzle, I would say it looks like that.
Oh.
In that context, it looks cool. It looks like it'd be a fun thing to switch.
It is. Bit of a pain in the neck, but it's fun. You can show that on the stream if you want. Oh, you already are. Okay. Cool.
I already am. Cool.
That's fine.
I suppose in the future I should ask first before I just flip it over to be on stream. How do I big screen this? Pop up. Okay. Full screen.
Crap.
What? Got a derailment?
Huh?
Got a derailment?
No, a couple are opened.
Oh, weird. So I don't know how to get that to be full screen. Oh, there we go. What the hell? Is that you with the lights?
Yeah, so there's a laser light up on the wall there.
Oh, well, that's weird.
Yeah. I just wanted to confuse you.
All right. So let's try and reassemble these passenger cars. Oops. Where'd I put my parts? Right here.
Oh, jeez. Oh no, don't do that. I was about to send the train into the loop, but then I remembered I have an auto rack in the consist right now.
It won't clear?
I have it between a twin hood coil car and a 3-bay covered hopper, so I don't think so.
Well, at least you got your short car, long car restrictions taken care of.
I put the 2-bay covered hopper in a 8,000-gallon tank car right next to each other.
There you go.
I think I might move the auto rack to the very back with the 60-foot box cars.
So that's 67 left, right. This is 77 left, right. And this is 76.
Come on now.
All right, let's see what we can do here. Do these two first. So 77, 77. And they both have arrows to aid in assembly. So 77.
Ian, I've got the trains moving at full speed.
I don't see anything right now.
You're about to.
Okay. Hey, there we go.
Oh my god.
Derailment.
No, it opened the coupler again. So if you look at the back where that striped tank car is, there's a an open coupler. I'm gonna pull this back and we're gonna see if there's an issue with the. Oh, hi, Cash. All right, let's try this. Stop moving. Stop moving. Darn slack action. There, hopefully that fixes our issue. Oh, okay. Here's our first derailment, Ian.
What do we got?
What the hell? Trying to get the engines moving again with all the cars. And front truck dropped out from underneath the second engine, the Sioux line. Try it again. There we are. Hopefully that performs much better now.
All right. That.
Oh, that's still awful fast.
We got one reassembled. Cool.
I'm praying. I'm begging so hard that the train makes it through this loop.
Oh my God.
What?
I said, oh my God. Eh.
Your mic's cutting out again. I can't hear you. Anything you're saying.
I'm not saying anything. I'm watching.
Still can't hear you if you're saying anything. Oh, it's double looping. Whoops. We're chasing our tail here like a little dog. Jeez. Let's go. Reset the switch. There we go.
Here. What he's doing is probably more interesting than what I'm doing. So I'll switch over to him. Okay. That auto rack going around that curve is just hilarious. What radius is that on that
What, the
loop?
curve's inside the yard?
Your loop.
The loop?
Yeah.
18 inch.
Oh, okay.
The corners on the main line where the engines are right now. These corners over here, these are 35.5.
Okay.
Let's go back to our original spot here. And
it's nice that you can have curves that broad on your layout.
Huh?
That it's nice that you can have curves that broad on your layout.
I wanted curves that my auto rack wouldn't hate, and so it was go big or go home. Literally.
Yep. That's what I just did on my layout. As much as
either go big and get all the big curves, or go home and not get the curves from Caboose Stop. Okay, let's come back down to.
Yeah, everybody likes watching trains run, so they're enjoying this. So if anybody else wants to jump on Discord and film your trains running while we're on stream, I can put that up too. Doesn't just have to be Teddy. I'll show whatever. Train related.
I guarantee some of y'all's layouts are better than mine.
Okay. Diner?
Try this. We're gonna have some fun. Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Angle switch, Ian.
Yeah, I see that. Awesome.
Oh, this is gonna be so cool.
Okay. Shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Wrong body style. This one. That's what I wanted. Now, the tricky one, because it's got the special windows. Yes, Nathan Bachman track.
It is indeed Bachman track. Let's go back to our cool view. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Here we are. Get the darn cube out of there. We are not. No. Let's give it like. Hey, Ian.
Hey, what?
Did I throw my dummy SD60M on it?
Sure.
We're at front, middle, back.
Back.
Back?
Yeah.
All right.
Phone died. Oh. Okay. Well, I guess that's the end of that. Dakota, I'm sorry for your loss. I like that. All right, let's get this off of here. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, my phone died.
Yeah, Dakota says sorry for your loss.
Wow. All right.
I like that.
We'll have trains back up and running in just a minute. I just don't want to have I have to keep it close to an outlet, but it'll reflect off the mirror and show my face.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
It should work. Oh, yeah. That's all right. I'm sorry for your loss, but life goes on. You've got to move on. Wow.
Oh, shit. That's funny. I'm going to use that.
All right, Ian, as promised, the SD60M is on the back of the train. Of course, it is an unpowered dummy, but son of a...
Oh, you did it, DPU. When you said first, second, or third, I thought you meant... Never mind. Okay, cool.
Or do you want the engine somewhere else?
No, you're fine.
I can put it somewhere else.
No, he brought it in. It's cool. All right, I got these put back together. Go back to this full screen again. Do that, and then that.
If anybody wants to see the train at a specific speed, just holler.
Oh, he's taking requests now.
Or speeds, at least. And consist formation. If anybody wants to see these engines in mixed formation or at different speeds or different kinds of trains, just holler and chat. I'll get to it. We're going about 25, 30 right now. Oh, geez.
Hmm.
Ian.
Yeah.
Full speed for the heck of it?
If you want to, go for it.
I bet. Here we go.
Cool. Oh, what else? Let's see here. BNSF, GP, 40.
BNSF is a GP 40-2R.
GP 38. dash tube.
Yeah. What, you just trying to guess all the cars?
I could. Let's see here.
Here, I'll back it up.
Oh, this ought to be good. How in the hell do you do that without stuff tipping over? Okay. I'm going to guess
35 point.
Trinity 4-bay hopper.
6351 cubic foot.
Okay. Evans 3-bay hopper.
4780.
Okay. 40-foot boxcar with roof box removed. Coil car with fiberglass tops. I need to get a 3D design of those and model them.
Okay, we can go a little bit faster.
Let's see. 4750 3-bay covered hopper. 3,000 something cubic foot sand hopper.
2980, I believe.
The beer can tank. The 20,000
gallon.
The 20,000 gallon acid tank. The
3145 for the
30,000 gallon ethanol tanks. 60-foot high cube T-box. And another one. 89-foot tri-level auto rack.
We hit a short.
And a short.
Come on. Oh, Lord.
And a Jeep 60M.
All right. Yeah, you're pretty on point with everything there, Egan. All right, let's go back to that.
You're using a Rubik's Cube to prop up a camera?
I am indeed.
Yeah.
It works. Plus, I have to stay close to the phone charger.
Right.
Okay, this is too slow. There it is. Oh boy. Okay, that's just too slow.
So how is that? Oh, maybe I can't take those Kato joiners out. Bigger than I thought. Oh, wrong type of screwdriver.
Oh Lord.
So that's a Kato rail joiner.
Huh?
So that's a Kato rail joiner.
Yeah. My B unit went on the ground.
Hold on, I'm gonna switch back to the cam for a second. My cam. Where's my? So I'd said that I could probably take a Kato rail joiner out and use that, but it turns out this is a Kato rail joiner. It's very deep. Interesting.
Ian, I gotta go do something real quick.
Okay. I'm gonna take his thing down as long as he's not there. Go back to Railfan Cam. What I'm doing is I'm modeling track with rail removed for a part of the yard. Well, let's see. Time is it? 21:57. I think I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. So tomorrow I will be back working on the wood gun, try and make more progress on that. I should probably undo the clamps and see how it's doing here. I just realized that part of this is a little out of whack. Reglue this joint. try this again. Where's my good glue? See you later, Dakota. Fucker. Fucking rolls out of there like snot.
Ian.
Yes. Still here. Okay. Talk to you later. All right. Let's try this again. Where's... Shoot. I need something to put glue in. Because this stuff just runs everywhere. You'd think I'd have something to put the damn glue in. Well, let's just try the CA stuff. Oh, that's probably not going to hold it well either. Well, at least it comes out at a reasonable rate. All right. Well, seems like everybody's leaving. Although somebody just jumped on Discord, I thought. Maybe not.
Fort Madison is Thatcher BNSF 7473 East, over.
7473 East, over.
Yep, your relief crew should be waiting for you there at Fort Madison.
All right, relief crew should be waiting at Fort Madison. We'll be there shortly.
Thank you. For my special.
Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, and I will be back tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.